Hey guys, here we are in the Dallara P217 at Silverstone for a short practice session. So in this practice session, I'm just going to kind of get an idea of like what my pace is like during the race. I'm basically just going to do a half stint. Um, that way I don't have to do a whole 40 minutes. But the settings I'll be using for this practice session, you have a 68 degrees air temperature and 100-degree track temperature. 5 mile per hour wind, so pretty low, and 60% track usage. So if you want to try out these settings, there you go. And before we head out, just for my first lap, I'm going to just kind of do a slow out lap where I can make some pointers about just the way I'm approaching the corners before I go for, I guess, a full run. So you can see 10 gallons of fuel, so like half of our full tank. And so I've done about 10 laps of practice already, but I guess the first thing to point out about these slow corners is it's like this car, I'd say, is the least comfortable in slow corners. It really likes to drive at higher speeds, and so it's always going to be very tail happy, I guess, on acceleration, like from low speed corners, and also hard to kind of get the car rotated at low speed. I feel it's easier at high speed. So I'd say more than anything for those first two corners, really focus on getting the line like tight. And I don't know if I feel like momentum doesn't really play much of a factor because you kind of just want to get the car into like a straight line and exit as soon as possible. So those are the, I'd say, important things for those first two like hairpins essentially. And as you're getting down to this long left-hander, kind of a medium speed corner, and kind of braking around the 75, maybe the 80 or so. You're going to be in 6th gear, downshifting like to 5th, 4th, and then 3rd, kind of hugging it in 3rd, and then once you finally get down to like this green turf, that's when I bring it down to 2nd. And then this section right here, I'm just going to stop right here. It's really difficult since you can see you don't really have much straight to bring yourself over to the left, but then if you put yourself in this position where you're stuck on the right-hand side for this right-hand corner, like right over here, this is not a good way to approach this corner. So you kind of really want to compromise that first corner if you can bring yourself over to the left. That way you can just get a good approach for this. And I feel the way I've been taking this, I feel like you could double apex, kind of get it early, bring it out wide, and then come back in. But I feel like generally just holding the inside the whole way around seems to be pretty smooth. I guess once the tires were off, you might end up like getting it to like a double apex, kind of like diamonding the corner. But just hugging the curve is how it's worked well for me. So I'm accelerating up to 6th gear again here, braking around the 75. I'm double downshifting down to 4th, really hugging this curve here. The car is going to want to shuffle out wide, and you want to use all the exit curving if possible. That's one of the things I've been struggling with a lot, is just figuring out how much you can push the car there. Because if you miss the apex, then you're going to run way wide on the curb. So again, taking the line here flat, and this is I think you're going to shift down to 5th there, but a very small lift. And then this, again, the Maggots and Beckett's, I feel the car is right in the verge, or right in the middle of gears here. I'm shifting down to 3rd for that first left, and then just staying in 3rd for here. But I feel you could shift down to 4th, and then down to 3rd for the next one. So you're just the timing of the shifts, but again, just getting all the curb on all those corners as much as you can, just to set yourself up for the last one, since that's going to carry you onto this long straight back here. And as you approach for this right-handers, as I'm going to stop right here, kind of as we're approaching, it is a bit of an uphill and it's kind of a blind apex. I mean, you see the curbing over there, but it's like a bit off camber it seems, so I feel you want to bring your car over early if possible, because if you get over late, I feel it's going to be kind of hard to get the car in from here, so you kind of want to be over to the right hand side early and just hope you can hug it well. Keeping the car in 3rd, if you miss the apex, maybe downshifting to 2nd just to help the car get rotated a bit more. And then as you're approaching this final tight chicane section, I'm getting up to 5th just for a second. Downshifting to 2nd, you don't want to hit this inside curb, it's going to really upset the car, so getting as close to it as possible, up down to 1st. And then as you're accelerating up to here, making a small let off the gas again to 2nd. If you're staying in 1st of this section, the car's just going to be really unstable under throttle just because it's on the high revs. So getting it to 2nd, it's just going to be a lot more comfortable as it's in lower revs and the rear won't be as tail happy. So, and then because I missed the first corner, as we're exiting the pits, just going to make a small mention here. It's, again, hard to see the apex, especially with like the windshield, and this is kind of like very flat, but I'm going to stay in 5th there because it's easy to get up to 6th and then downshift to 5th to try to get the apex, but I feel that downshift, it's just like the timing can be a bit messy, so I feel it's just safer to stay in 5th and then hopefully just turning in early. Plus, if you're taking that corner too fast and you end up running wide, it's going to put you on the wrong side of the straightaway for the tight corner. I bet that's going to be something I'm going to experience during my run, just overshooting that first corner and then putting myself in a bad position for the rest of it. But Anyways, okay, those are the main points that I wanted to mention, so I guess now we'll just head on for a run. So here we go. Hugging the inside curb. So as you can see, I put myself in a bad position for that final right-hander, so in order to get the car turned in, I shifted down to second. You normally won't want to go to second, or you want to put yourself in a better position than I just did. So really focus on getting the car in the right position for those corners. It's only going to hurt you. The more you mess up, it's just going to compile further misses. So really focus on getting all the curb you can.
Cut the cord, you've got to slow down and give up that time.
So I guess that's a good showing that you want to get the curbs in order to get yourself in a good position. If you cut them too much, it's going to give you some really severe penalties. Those are really harsh, so just really finding the balance of how much you put yourself on the curb. I feel you want to get 2 tires on there. I think I've probably got 4 tires, which is what hurt me, but I'm actually going to do the start of this lap really slowly. I obviously got a lot of got the car real sideways off the final corner here. You think that you're fine because you're up to speed, but this final little kink, I mean, you have to turn the wheel a bit more, and then it's really easy to get the car sideways before the start of the lap. So, but yeah, on this first section, you saw how I was able to put myself way over to the left here, and then I had to bring myself way back over to the left. I feel like if you just keep yourself in the middle here, that's the safest area. I was braking right at the start of the curb. I felt that was a bit too late, so maybe start at the 100. That would probably be a better place. And then a really challenging thing is you see the curb right here, you see your apex, but as you're bringing the car over to the right, the pillar's in the way, you're completely blind. And so this is just such a challenging corner since you don't want to turn in too much and hit the inside curb. It just really unsettles the car, so that's something I feel I really have to continue working on, just figuring out how to just really get comfortable and like where to turn it and like, because you just can't see the corner. I don't really know how else to improve there other than just continuing practicing, but yeah, that first section, just very technical, having to put your car in the right position, then just finding a braking zone around the 100, and then trying to get a corner that you can't see until you're right there. So, yeah, those are my focus points right now, just getting those slow corners right. It's the most challenging part with this car, and obviously not getting a time penalty for cutting in the chicane here, or in the S's. Yeah, let's say goal is to get a 46 something, so let's try and do that. just understeer. I don't know if I took the corner too fast. Okay, so we're making a bit of progress. Got to the 46 O's, so next step is the 45s, but I feel like I'm finally getting these low speed corners a bit better, just really trying to the first time we turned in too early, the second time we're a bit late, again we're being a bit too late there. I can't even see the curve, but you can see just how much the sausage curve unsettled me when I hit it. It just kills your exit, so. But one thing I'm actually discovering is this corner right here, once I get down to second, I feel that I don't actually have to get as far over to the left hand side as I thought. I feel like right there, it's okay. You don't have to get over to the left, just kind of get in the middle, and then just be very patient on the throttle. It's so easy to get the car sideways on exit, getting to the power too early. And then, yeah, 75 right on the curving here, down to 4th. Just get the car to the apex and then get to the power. No need to get to the power too early. Then I don't know if I should be able to take that. I feel like I'm downshifting to 5th there, I could maybe stay in 6th, but I feel the timing to the downshifts would just be a bit more uncomfortable, because then I'd have to downshift another time, so I feel the 5th downshift there just kind of to make the rest of the corners easier. Then here, I feel like I might actually be braking a bit too early, but I just keep understeering so far
You got
behind.
about 5 laps of fuel left.
And then I'm right on the edge of 4th here. Maybe I can stay in 4th, maybe I don't have to shift up to 5th. So easy to overshoot that chicane, just go a bit too late. But yeah, just even trying to hover in the 46s, I feel like, I don't know why my goal is to get a 46, I feel like I can actually do it quite consistently now. I just didn't know. There's so many places you can just make small mistakes and all those things can pile up, but yeah, just small lockups there. But it's okay to have some small mistakes, just minimize those and don't make any huge mistakes. So I'll continue on for another 5 laps, and guess I'll see you at the end. So one thing I'm noticing, even though I've only done like, I don't know, 6 or 7 laps or something like that, I can already tell that once you get really old tires, you're not really going to have any issues other than front understeer. That's the main thing I'm experiencing right now, just especially in like the long, medium speed corners. Yeah, it's getting a bit harder to take a lot of speed through there, so I'm almost wondering, on like long runs, instead of like going 9/10 or something, maybe like go 7/10, just try to maybe take those medium speed corners a little bit more carefully, just that way you can preserve your stuff over the long run. Because yeah, I mean these corners, it's just a bit slidey, but it's okay, it's manageable. But like this left-hander and then the right-hander I'm coming up to, is just, I was talking about like double apexing. Now that's happening not because I wanted to, just because the car won't turn in the way I want it to. So here, once you get down to low speed, it's okay, it finally turns. But then through here, just trying to get the car to stay on the curb, it just wants to not hang there. It wants to keep going wider and wider and wider. So yeah, mediums, three quarters, and then this one right here. I don't know if you have to take this down to third gear. I feel you can still hold this in fourth, but maybe just start braking like at the 90 instead of the 75, just to make that left front's going to take a beating there. So yeah,
You've
front
got about 2
understeer.
laps of fuel.
That's the name of the game, and so just managing that, especially like dirty air through here, that's definitely gonna get you a lot of understeer. So the car feels really nice on fresh tires though. So yeah, the way to manage an understeer, that's gotta be key.
You have about 1 lap of fuel left.
Okay, so how many laps was that? About somewhere, I don't know if it was 14 or whether I already did some laps beforehand, but yeah, I mean, there was a lot of those big sausage cars, especially at that last chicane, and I mean, when you're trying to push, you want to get as close to them as possible, that way you can get the best line, but then if you push a bit too far, the curb just really unsells the car, and so that's something I definitely have to work on as well, just figuring out how to be consistent around those sausage curves, because those are really going to upsettle the car. So yeah, I'm just going to get a short look at our lap times here. Yeah, there we go. So those ones are making some mistakes, and then some 46s there, then falling into the 47s on some older tires. So yeah, I feel everyone's probably be getting maybe 45s, 46s on the early part of the run, but the question is how are you going to manage it once you start getting older tires? And so yeah, practicing longer runs, that will be what my next focus is. But anyways, hope this video was helpful, and see you guys next time.